Hello, welcome to Cooking with Gina. My name is Gina Virginia Casella. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube at Gina Virginia Casella, and I'd love for you to join my Facebook group, Present Moment Alchemy. So today, surprise, surprise, I'm making pasta. I just love pasta, and I actually thought about making something else, but the folks that I'm living with, they'd like to get in on Cooking with Gina, and one of them was in the mood for pasta. So I thought, okay, fine, make more pasta. And just to change it up, instead of using spaghetti noodles, I'm going to use the penne noodles. I'm not being endorsed by these brands, just showing you what I use. So this is Barilla. I really like it. And I'm just starting my vegan cuisine. So if I'm using any products that are not vegan, please let me know. Traditionally, my family, we just smash up our own tomatoes, and we've relied on canned tomatoes and whatnot in the past, and tomato paste. But I found this in the fridge, which is, I've never used it before. It's called Solo Pomodoro Multi, and Calian's #1 brand tomatoes. That's what it says on it. Passata strained tomato. So it seems like it's pretty thick. I've never used it before. See how I like it. I'm going to be using 100% extra virgin olive oil. This is no name brand. I've used this for years. I just love it. I'm wondering what you love. Let me know in the comments. Salt, pepper to taste. This is Kirkland brand black pepper. And I've also got Kirkland brand sea salt. And I was really enjoying the kosher salt for a little bit. That was a very nice change. And once things get a little bit more organized, I'm definitely going to invest in some more kosher salt. And I'm wondering about you. What kind of salts do you use? Does it matter what you're making, not making? I've got some bread here. It's still nice and soft. I might just lightly bake it to make it softer. Maybe I'll transform it into a garlic bread. I'm still thinking about it. On that note, I've got garlic powder in lieu of fresh garlic. I'm going to be using Earth Balance. I really like this butter. I'm going to add it to my noodles. And if you've been watching Cooking with Gina, you know that I just love adding butter to my noodles. And today I actually want to try and make two kinds of sauces. I'm going to make this tomato sauce, but I'm going to make just a little bit of a cheese sauce, at least attempt to, with Earth Owns almond vanilla flavor. And I'm also going to be using these Baby Bells. They're vegan, and I've had one or two of them, and it's been hard not eating the rest. And so I said to myself, try and make a sauce out of these, or just eat them for what they are, or make a tomato salad and chop them up. But my intention was to melt it to see if I can do that. I'm wondering, any experienced vegans out there, what are you using in lieu of cheese? What kind of vegan cheeses are working? I'd really love to know in the comments. I've also got some dried bay leaves, so I'm going to be using that. And something I've never done before is I'm going to add pitted prunes to the spaghetti sauce, right? I'm going to add that, try that out. They're nice and sweet. These peppers here, I just grabbed for myself to snack on. There's not too many left in the garden. But I did find 2 green peppers. They've been hiding in there. I don't think they're going to get any bigger. They came off pretty easily, which tells me that they're nice and ripe and ready to enjoy. So those will go in my sauce. If I had mushrooms, I would love to add mushrooms, mushroom green peppers. Those are some of my favorite things to add in pasta sauce, and I'm wondering about yourself. So I'm looking forward to snacking on these. And then I've got some basil as well, fresh basil. So there were other choices. There's some rosemary in the garden and whatnot, but I really like to make my sauce on the basil side, and I'm wondering about you. So I'm just going to wash my vegetables and be right back. So I washed my vegetables, and I almost forgot to tell you that yesterday we were out and about and we picked up some sublime sweets. They come from St. Thomas, just some locals doing their local thing. And they freeze dried these cucumbers to make tasty dill pickles, and they're really tasty. It was interesting to have them like this, and I want to chop them up and top off my white sauce with it. So dill pickle and pasta, I don't know, have you ever heard of that before? I haven't, but I thought this might add a little zing to it or something. So I'm excited about that. And also Sublime Sweets, they were offering freeze-dried fruit, triple berry. So there's some raspberries and blueberries in there, and I never heard of freeze-dried fruits before. So I'm not going to put these in my spaghetti sauce, but I just thought I would take a little handful and put it in my water. Because I was just saying the other day that I would like to have some water, some homemade tea where I just dried fruit, and I thought, maybe this is like it. So I just kind of dabbed it on the top, but you can see it's mixing nicely. And I'm just going to grab a little handful for myself right now. It tastes really good. It tastes like you could easily rehydrate these and make a puree. Or if you're making a puree or a jam, these would be a really nice complement to it. Or just as is on toast with butter. You can add cinnamon. They're on the tarty side. Anyways, I really like it. St. Thomas, and they were in my area yesterday. So I'm thankful for the locals who are doing local things. So I've got 3 pots on the stove, pans on the stove. As I'm cooking, I'll just move my camera to and fro. So I've got a big wok here that I found that I'm going to make my spaghetti sauce in. I've got this other frying pan that I'm going to make my cheese sauce. And then this here is to boil my spaghetti, or my penne, I should say, my penne noodles. And what I like to do is start with my tomato sauce, just to get those flavors marrying. So what I like to do is I like to add oil first. Not too much, that much. Turn this on. I'm going to put it on 3. I feel like the number 3's been working with me lately. And something I want to do is, traditionally people just add 1 leaf of basil, but I've got abundance here, so I'm going to use 3. And I just like to give it a crack, just to help with those essential oils mix in there. My basil, I'm just going to rip it. Some pieces will be bigger than others, and that's okay. So by the time I drop in this pasta sauce, the tomato sauce, this will be like a nice basil oil sauce on its own. So while this is doing its magic, I'm going to cut up these green peppers and sneak in some bites of these very tasty peppers that, I don't know, it's kind of day by day. So far, I find these peppers are not spicy at all until you get to the seeds. Ooh, this one's on the spicier side, and there's seeds here, so this one is tasty but good. And a reminder to do your taste testing. This would have been a nice pepper the other day for my dish that I made. How about you? Can you relate? I just wanted to show you, I opened up this pepper and it is jam-packed full of seeds. So that bite that I took was really hot. And I'm wondering about this one. Not as hot. And if you look, the seeds aren't, they don't go as high like in the other one. I just wanted to let you know that the number 3 is working out for me. Oh, hi, Rosie. Just here making an appearance. Because I just broke these, like ripped them up gently, I'm just kind of pressing them into the oil just to break them up a little bit more and get those essential oils going. Wondering what are your techniques? I don't want this to be an oil sauce, so I'm being mindful about the amount of oil that I'm using. What else was I going to tell you? Oh yeah, I'm also going to start getting some butter in my other pan. That way it can start melting. Now, I don't know about you, but when I first started cooking, when I moved out on my own, I had this habit that I would always rush. And I don't know about you, but I like it when I cook things on high heat. It just seems to come together really fast. And then, you know, things aren't soaking in oil for so long. But over the course of my personal experience, it pays off to cook things on low. That way the flavors are infusing and marrying and not burning. And it just helps me be more present. But when I'm deep frying something, or if I'm pan frying something like that needs to be flipped like a pancake, then I like to cook on a higher heat. So I'm wondering about you. And when it comes to making pancakes, I've never been good at that. I just like to fry things. They're in, they're out. When I'm pan frying, I just like to do it on a low heat. So for my white sauce, cheese sauce, how much butter am I going to add? I don't know, this much here. I will add some of that milk to it. And while I'm thinking about it, that's a little bit too hot. I thought I could get away with grabbing it, but I'm going to take some of my basil from here and just plop it in there. I never thought to do that. So, and I just have to be mindful because when I'm cooking, I tend to get carried away. So I just want this sauce to be like a little sauce. If I need to add more butter, I will. So I'm going to get my noodles, the water hot, and my cheese sauce. I'm going to put it on 3 just to start getting the butter melted. I also wanted to let you know that I was a little bit afraid of the seeds in here. So I opened these up and I just left these in. So if you see my eyes watery, that might be why. And I'm wondering, how do you enjoy the garden at home? How do you enjoy spicy foods? And here's your bite. So all of a sudden the basil, it just hit me and it smells phenomenal. And I reduced it to 2 because it's starting to like crackle and I don't want it to do that. So I guess 2 might be the magic number for today. On that note, maybe I'll just reduce this one to 2. So I'm really excited about today's dinner, and it'll be nice to have penny for a change. As I was cutting up my green peppers, I started thinking about my life and times when I taught English in South Korea. And, you know, when I first moved out on my own, this kind of stuff, and same with broccoli, I would take all that extra stuff off. And when I lived in South Korea, at least the cuisine I was enjoying, they left all that stuff on. And so I do that too these days, and I'm wondering about you. So I'm just taste testing this sauce here. I gave it a shake. It's good. It doesn't taste like there's any flavor. It just has like a tomato paste taste to it. And I'm going to add just a little bit of water in here, swish it around, and add that as well. I'm wondering, what do you do? If I wanted to, I could have poured some of the milk in here and then made it part of my cheese sauce, but I don't want to do that, like a rosé sauce. Okay, so I can tell just by the way it looks that the sauce is nice and thick, which is good, but I do want to bring it to a boil. So I'm going to add more water. I mean, I do that just by adding it in here. And I'm an eyeballer. That's what I really like about cooking. I like the taste of raw salt. So I'm not going to add any salt to this. I'm just going to let the basil do its thing. I've got my green pepper here ready, so I'm going to bring this sauce up to a boil. And when it gets to a boil, that's when I'm going to put my green peppers in. I don't want to fry it like I would for rice. Instead of like boiling the vegetable with water, I want the spaghetti sauce to boil in there. I'm also going to add my milk, almond milk, which is vanilla flavor, to my butter basil here. How much? I don't know, this much. It's just supposed to be like a side sauce, kind of a taste tester. And I'm going to get busy with my cheese. So I'm really keeping an eye on my tomato sauce here. It was just kind of starting to hiccup or burp, if you will. So I need to make sure that I'm close by and that I'm stirring it. And the vegan cheese, it comes in this green wax thing, but then it's white in color. And it has the texture just like any other baby bulb. Hard not to gobble it up. And I'm gonna chop it up into a bunch of pieces just to help it melt. Hopefully it will melt. So the cheese is on hold because this is starting to come together here. It smells really good. Typically I would add salt and pepper, but I've stopped doing that because I find I just really like the raw taste of salt. If I wasn't sharing this meal with other people, then I would add salt and pepper because I would just make it for myself personally to taste. And I like using the wok just so I have lots of room to spread around. It smells really good. Now, those of you who are familiar with cooking don't need to hear this, but if you're not familiar with cooking, you don't want your sauce to be like a full roaring boil like you would with water. So I'm just going to, in my opinion, I consider this like boiled, if you will. I'm going to reduce it to 2. And my hot water is just about boiling for me to add the penne noodles, and that's fine. It's boiling now, actually. So I'm going to toss in my green peppers. And just make sure that I'm stirring things around. You want to make sure you're stirring things because it'll get stuck on the bottom. It'll start burning. If you start getting overwhelmed and it's bubbling over, then you just remove it from the heat. So whenever I make pasta with green peppers, I like the green peppers on the big side. But because I'm using penne noodles, I thought I would chop them up small. Arguably, I could have chopped them up even smaller. I like to eat penne with a spoon. How about you? I wonder. And I still need to get my prunes chopped up, so I'm going to be getting busy here. And I still have my peppers that I'm eating. So I was just thinking, yesterday was one of those hot days where the sun just like came down. And I wonder if that helped to spicy up these peppers. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. So it's super spicier than last time, just to emphasize. So the cheese is phenomenal. I just turned my boiling water off. This is really good. It slices easy. And it's helping with the spiciness of those peppers. So I'm just going to put it right in here. I've got 4 Baby Bell cheese, but I'm going to start with 2 just to see how we do here with the melting. I also need to chop up my prunes. I can't find the scissors, so I'm going to use a knife to do that. And I don't know. We'll see if this melts. I don't know if I showed you the pitted prunes that I'm using. These are Kirkland Signature brand. They are Sunsweet. It says source of fiber on it. There's 3 grams, 12%. But there's not too much else in it. There's some potassium, vitamin A, 15 grams of sugar, and ingredients, it just says pitted California dried plums, prunes, potassium sorbate. So I guess the sugar is all natural sugar in here. So it should help my sauce be nice and sweet. They're pretty big, pretty tasty. And I don't know, I'll probably cut one into 3 or 4 pieces. I'm checking in on my sauce and it looks like it is melting. If it didn't melt, I was prepared to eat it anyways. But it looks like I got to tap at it in order for it to melt, and that's okay. I don't want to increase the temperature right now of this. I just want it to stay at a nice low boil, at least until I'm ready to give it my full attention. So as I'm cutting the prunes, I'm snacking on them as well. And I'm just reminding myself that prunes are a really good choice, you know, instead of eating chips or other kind of junk food. It's just that they're super sticky, right? And so a lot of people don't like that. So I'm just wondering, how do you have prunes? Do you blend them up? Do you put them in your desserts? Feel like the next time I make granola bars, definitely add some prunes in there. So I'm just sneaking them as I eat them. And it's helping with that spicy pepper that I had. I forgot about my water, but it is here. And cooking just brings me so much joy. It's always come naturally and easily to me. If I had scissors, I might cut the pieces up smaller, but I don't care. I feel like it's fine like this, and I'm not going to nitpick it. That's what I love about cooking. It's flexible. Let me just wash my hands and I'll show you what I'm doing here. So I just added the prunes into here, and I chopped them into 4. Just want to make sure that they're not sticking together. And that seems like it's going to be a bit of a reality. That's okay. I've never had prunes in a spaghetti before, or dried fruit in a spaghetti. I'm making penne, using penne noodles. I'm wondering if you can relate. What do you use at home? I also like to add curry to my spaghetti sauce. Even though I'm using penne noodles, I call it spaghetti sauce. And I've got 2 more of those Bell pieces of cheese, so I'm going to add those as well. So I'll be right back. So I couldn't find curry powder. Oh well. When I have it, I do like to add it. My spaghetti sauce never tastes like curry sauce at all. I find there's something magic about curry powder that just sort of adds like a silkiness to the sauce. Maybe you can relate. And I remembered, oh yeah, I didn't add my garlic. So how much garlic powder am I using? I don't know, this much here. I like to add lots of garlic. And I'm excited. This is coming together very nicely, and I'm really excited about my cheese sauce because I felt confident that the cheese would melt, but then when I first added it to the butter, I thought, oh no, it's not going to melt. And it did. It did. So that's really exciting. This here, I'm going to turn it on minimum. I feel like it's hot enough. And so the cheese, it's hard not eating it. Seemed to melt okay. Oh, my camera's just bouncing around here. And I'm using the same knife that I cut the prunes with. So just for a second, I was like, what is that stuff? And just because I use the same knife. Okay. So this is going to melt. And in some worst case scenario, I could always add more milk. That's the easy part. But I don't have any more cheese. I want it to be thick or as thick as it can be. If I need to add something like starch to thicken it, I could. I just want to keep it simple. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start my pasta here water. It already reached a boil. So I'm just going to turn it back on to maximum. And as soon as it starts boiling, I'm going to dump my penne noodles in. And also just wanted to show you that this here, the color's not changing so much. It doesn't taste like berries. I'm going to give it a stir. And see if that helps infuse. Maybe I need to add more. And if I don't gobble all of these up, I would be interested in having hot water, like a tea, and putting these berries in. Which I think I'm going to do right now, actually. So I'm just going to add some of these berries into some boiling water that I have here. And just see what happens, what magic happens. It smells good. And my baby bell, it is melting, so I'm getting a nice consistency here with my sauce. So I'm just going to tidy up a little bit, and I'm going to chop up some of that dried dill pickle. Has like a kind of like a paper tissue, and it's really good. Like if you were making popcorn or something like that, you know how people put dill pickle seasoning on it. Like this would be a really good alternative. And I'm wondering, what do folks out there do with this kind of stuff? You just eat it as is. We'll see how it is on pasta. So I just gave the cheese sauce a little taste. It doesn't really taste like anything, and that's okay. But it's a really great consistency. So I could add more basil to it. I think adding some salt to it will help. And some pepper. If I had some more herbs, I could add this to it. And I think the salt will help bring out the flavor a bit more. My water's boiled, so I'm just going to reduce the heat to 8. Add the whole box. And I like using the tongs when I can. So I'm going to get back to chopping up those dill pickles. And whew, I'm having a hard time finishing this pepper. I'm going to do it. It's really good. It's really hot, hotter than the last ones. I can't say that enough. So, I was just thinking randomly, I'm not going to cut these up. I'm just going to put these right in here. I'm really getting excited now and hungry, and I need a drink. I got my water here with the berries. When I try the actual berries, it has like a nice jam puree taste to it, but the water doesn't have any taste. But it still makes for a nice presentation. I'm going to intentionally break up the berries in here. At least those raspberries, they're nice and big. That way when I do drink it, I'll just default to getting some of those bits and pieces of the strawberry or raspberries floating around. And then my tea, still pretty hot. Woo. It tastes like a berry tea, so it's really nice. And wondering, what do you do with your preserves? Let me know in the comments. Almost forgot to turn the camera on. You were just about to miss all the action. So I fished out one of the prunes in the tomato sauce. I haven't added any salt or pepper to it yet. It's like just steamy hot. It's not spicy. It's really, really good with the prunes. Unexpectedly, really, really good. Kind of wish I added more, actually. And now I'm starting to have all kinds of hopes and dreams with prunes and even putting apricots in the sauce. And I just never thought to put fruit in sauce. I don't know. What do folks in Italy have to say? Am I being a bad Italian again? Is this like the pineapple on pizza issue? I hope not. It's really good. It's really good. And it's going to get another spoon. My cheese sauce, it's really thickening, actually. So I'm going to remove it from the heat and give it a little taste test. And intentionally, I don't have, I'm not putting one of the pickles in it because I want to see if the pickles married with the flavor or not, or married with the cheese and the milk and butter or not. Oh my God. That is good. That is good. It doesn't taste like dill pickle. I don't know what it tastes like. It just has like a hint of dill pickle in there. Just remove this from the heat. It's really good. Really, really good. And I just want to, well, I'm gonna wait till my noodles are ready and then I'll do some more taste testing. I was initially going to make some garlic bread, but I'm just going to leave the bread as is with butter and just appreciate it for what it is. My noodles, they're getting there. The penny noodles are getting there. Everything in the kitchen seems to happen at once. I like to clean as I go, so I'm just going to get the milk back in the cooler that we're using. Fridge is coming in on Tuesday, and I'm going to get the prunes and whatnot back into the pantry. So just when I was putting the butter back, I thought, oh yeah, I want it for my bread. I like lots of butter on my bread. I'm just using a spoon here to spread it. And I can't wait. It's hard just not soaking it all up right now in these sauces. I'm wondering if you can relate. I like to eat penne with a spoon. I'm wondering about you. And I also need to add some of that butter to my penne noodles, which are just about done. So I can always tell when the noodles are ready just by the way that they look. I'm wondering, how do you know if they're ready or not? But I usually fish one out just to do an official taste test. Oh, well, got two in this case. So they're nice and ready. So I'm just going to get busy and strain them. Oh, and I picked up a tip somewhere on YouTube, or maybe it was Facebook, but you just put the strainer like this and then go like that. And that was really life-changing for me. I wonder if you knew that or how you're straining your pasta at home. Let me know in the comments. So I'm going to add my, excuse me, my butter. How much butter? I don't know. This much. Yes, I'm always adding a good tablespoon or two. And whenever I strain my noodles, I always leave just a little bit of water intentionally because it helps give it like a little butter sauce, if you will. I'm also just love putting salt on noodles and eating it like this. So, so good. So this burner is still on. Leave it here. So I'm gonna make my plate and then I'll show you. I'm really, really excited about my dinner today, my late lunch, early dinner. Rosie and I are getting into our routine again. So I was up this morning at 5:10. I'd like to be up at 4:10, but whatever, we'll get there. So here I go. Got my penne noodles with some tomato sauce, prunes, and green pepper. And I want to get a bite that has green pepper mixed in there. It's really good. I thought I would miss that silkiness of the curry. I don't. Now for the dill pickle sauce here. Dill pickle, baby bell milk, almond milk sauce. That's really good. You never heard of mixing dill pickle and pasta before? In a cold macaroni pasta salad, I've had pickle. Maybe that's where these thoughts are coming from. I don't think the dill pickle one is something I'd want to have like a big plate of, but for pickle lovers out there, this is definitely something for you. It's nice to have it. And then now, of course, a bite of both. A bit of this, a bit of that. Here's your plate. It's really good. Really good. I'm gonna let the folks know that dinner is ready. Now that my tea sat here for a bit, the flavors are really coming through. The tea, it's a nice light pink color. Really good. And some nice giant freeze-dried blueberries in there to chew on. And also enjoying my water. And enjoying another bite of the freeze-dried blueberry. With the tea, the freeze-dried blueberry wasn't so tangy, which was nice. And it still has a nice tanginess in the cold water. So if you want tang, I guess cold water is your way. My name is Gina Virginia Casella. Thank you so much for watching Cooking with Gina. I really enjoy cooking. It's something that comes naturally to me. It brings me a lot of joy. Yesterday I made a fancy peanut butter sandwich, a triple decker I call it, and it got a lot of views really fast. And so it just goes to show, you know, the power in anything is in its simplicity. Homemade is best made, even if it's a peanut butter sandwich. Halloween is just around the corner. Homemade is best made. The best costumes are homemade costumes, and a lot of folks out there celebrating Thanksgiving. You don't have to get fancy decorations. Just picking some flowers in the backyard to make a little display on your table is more than enough. And anyways, I'm looking forward to digging in. And again, my name is Gina Virginia Casella. Thank you for watching Cooking with Gina. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Gina Virginia Casella. Like and subscribe. And also, I'd love for you to join my Facebook group, Present Moment Alchemy. I do a lot of posting in there. I like to work with cycles like the new moon cycle, the waxing moon, the waning moon. So we're starting to wax, we're growing, if you will, our intentions. And yesterday I wrote something really interesting about Venus and the waxing moon, which was amazing synchronicity to my recent gemstone reading for the new moon, which was a bit of a toughie to take in, you know. And that's the thing about doing this work. I find a lot of tarot readers and intuitives, they'll tell you what you want to hear, but what are you open to hearing? And so a lot of folks, when they pull a tarot card, for example, they'll just keep pulling until they find one that they like. And my gemstone reading that I did, it's my version that I created. It's like a tarot reading, but it's with gemstones that I used that were gifted to me from the Gnome King. And you can read all about that in my Dragon Dreams book, Dragon Dream series. And anyways, it was a bit of a tough one to take in. And so what I wrote yesterday in my Facebook group, Present Moment Alchemy, made me feel a lot better about it, because I was shifting gears. You know, I really wanted to help people with my program that I was offering, but I put that to the side. You know, I took the advice from the gemstones, and any advice, whether it's coming from the gemstones or not, we always take it with a grain of salt. And I made some changes, and I was putting Cooking with Gina forward. Today, before I was doing this, I was editing book 5 of the Dragon Dreams, and I ended up writing like another 100 pages. So it's about a 350-page book. And I just feel like this is good synchronicity. I'm wondering, how is synchronicity showing up in your life? Again, my name is Gina Virginia Casella. Thank you so much for watching Cooking with Gina. And I'd love for you to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel at Gina Virginia Casella. And I'd love for you to join my Facebook group, Present Moment Alchemy. Until next time, take care.